Yeah, we have
Lion, Blitz, Echo, Maestro, Mira, all on the board, which I think are the 7 most or the 8 most popular bands in all of Siege in every competitive setting. I'm actually scared that every single one of those are left available to both of these teams.
looking at the reveal right now. Pretty stable, but swaps are coming in immediately. Oh, Thermite and a Bandit getting swapped into. It's gonna be a little disappointing for the Thermite there if that's the case.
I'm just confused because we can't see where the defense is going in op pick, but they went Pent Theater. Anyway, okay, that's a weird thing in Spectator. I don't know what's wrong with that, but Pent Theater with a Mira and a Maestro, not something you get to see every day with the amount of Miras to band out.
This is, I mean, it's looking pretty standard from the very beginning, and that's reasonable considering you don't necessarily want to throw. Actually, no. Sometimes in the very beginning is where you have the luxury to do something weird with it. But at least to me, this is looking pretty solid, pretty standard. These are like the default mirrors being put up right now.
Absolutely. Also on the side of the attack, so we do have Sippin' on OJ on the Sippin' on OJ special. Most likely Fuse Shield, Rudy bringing the Finka, so this is going to be fascinating. Yaga filling in a fragger role currently on the Ash, so he's not going to get too creative with everything so far. Twitchtron just escaped the feet of Chap, is going to be ducking into sight, and that's going to be popping the left hard mirror.
Yeah, that's pretty big to get. Right before it got taken out, but is able to get it in time. But Yaga right off the bat, grabbing a kill onto Cookies. It's actually 3 down immediately from Motiv8. We blinked. We were looking at the Twitch drone and then make that 4 down. They able to get 1 back in return. But this is just Talon with no HP. Gets another one, though. Makes it 3 versus 1. Makes it 1 versus 2. How is he doing this? He has literally 3 HP on him right now. Down bolts, he is going to reload. He needs that ammunition, but he wants to reload quickly because it's a long one, but they're giving him the space to do it, using their drones to try bait him out. Oh, but he gets discovered by the Twitch drone. And, of course, what an amazing almost turnaround there, though, by Talon.
Yeah, a good job by Talon trying to turn that around, but I mean, the round was over in, what, 45 seconds?
I mean,
the aggression.
It was basically a 5 versus 1 that he made a 2 versus 1. And like that's, it's a good old college try. But yeah, the main key is though, why did everyone else die so quickly?
Well, it was a double roam over by Aquarium and Billiards. It was just a quick rush in off the bat from Sinister over by the Aquarium balcony, and they did a good job of getting those initial picks. And when you're Finka boosted off rip from spawn, I guess it's not that difficult to hit your shot. Motiv8 going to go for round number 2. Same thing, Pent Theater, and bringing identical operators. 6 pick expires. Nobody swapping out, so we don't get a Finka this time on the side of Sinister, as they did not bring a breach last time. Actually, the round was over so fast, I don't remember.
They did. They had the Thermite as their second pick from the beginning of last round. So the only difference on Sinister's side is that instead of the Finka, they now have the Sledge. Motiv8 are the same 5 powder.
Not a lot to talk about last round, man. Like, it was a rush in from Aquarium. Like, there's no breakdown of how the setup affected something. It was a 2-man roam. They got caught off early. Someone else tried to jump in. It's a 5v2, and it's all downhill from there. Like,
the setup is irrelevant at that point.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of unfortunate for Motiv8 in that sense as well, because they're unable to see what cracks were there in that setup. And they're already down 0-1, so in a way it kind of only speeds up the clock a little bit more, but it's not much, but, you know, things kind of add up.
Calls up to the Aquarium balcony once again, and Sinister look like they want to go for the same kind of setup on the attack, trying to push in from the Aquarium balcony. Billiards can push down both hallways simultaneously. Did a good job of that last time, obviously, but Looks like also Motiv8 have peeled back quite a bit. They're playing very site-centric, as we see almost everyone either inside the objective or a foot away. So they're going to try and play this a little closer to the chest this time, not overextend.
Yeah. I'll say, they may have pulled it back a little too much, though, because by doing this, they're giving Sinister perhaps a little more map control than they needed to give him right off the bat. We saw them go a couple of pre-fires down the hall. Not too committed, but here comes the fight right now. Tags back and forth. It is going to be Aviation coming out on top with the FAMAS onto yellow. So already, that's the bandit down. Yaga gets another one onto Cookies. So already 2 down.
Yeah, Motiv8, a little bit of a better spot than last time, but also severe danger. So under a lot of that map control, the Maestro is going to get taken down by the Ash Charge. Chap can trade 1. RTC drops Chap, and Rudy take down RTC. Billboard able to trade it out onto Aviation, bring down to a 2v2. Still a minute 30 left in the round, but it's Billboard and Talon trying to battle back. Soprano OJ takes a lot of damage, and Talon's going to finish it out with the double kill, as the feet of Sipin on OJ were being taken down by Talon's LMGs, moving back and forth. And the double peek by the Sledge with a frag grenade in hand. Motiv8 tie things up on the backs of a 3v5.
That was an interesting decision to walk right in front of the pre-firing Maestro. I don't know if that was miscommunication or just really ambitious and thinking, oh, he's going to stop shooting eventually. But nonetheless, Talon does get the 2-0 at the end there to tie it up 1-1. Talon is going off, though. He is 5-0-1, 2 rounds in. But Yaga on the other side on Sinister isn't too far behind at 4-0-2. Question is, who is going to get the support from their teammates first?
Kitchen Service come out as the secondary defensive site for Motiv8. Talon bring in Doc. There we go. That's a little better. I was gonna say that's probably not what he's going for. He's not swapping to the Maestro though. He's picking up a Valkyrie instead on the 6th pick. Good call, as IQ's been banned out, so I guess the Valkyrie camp's gonna have a lot more effect, and something we haven't seen a lot lately with the amount of IQ coming out and the fact that I don't think I've ever seen an IQ get banned. We haven't seen a lot of Valkyrie just because there's really that IQ is gonna find the camp so easily. We don't really get to see her that much anymore.
Yeah, so we get the nice shredded babe coming in once again. See where she places them. Okay, for a second, looked like she was gonna put one in the center, which looks like she is. Oh, but it's up in the tree. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Oh, nope, never mind. Don't worry, no one saw that.
He's gotta wait. Okay, so he throws it lower in the tree. It's because of the hitbox on the outside of the map. It's like how you can't throw Valcams out a window to the outside of the map until the round starts as well.
Yeah.
So it just bounced off the invisible red hitbox. But same lineup coming out from Sinister as well on the attack. Looks like they're going Universal Ops this time after dropping the Finka rush in the first round. Yaga's already got himself outside the Sunrise entrance. Self-droning himself in. That's interesting. I thought maybe Sinister would be going for more of a unified push and start droning in your entry, especially with that aggression they brought out initially. But, yeah, I guess self-droning and holding back a bit, playing a little more reserve this time. Sinister aren't immediately jumping through windows without double checking. And go waiting for support. It's probably a good call as well.
Yeah, you always don't want to. You don't necessarily always want to be on the same tempo for the entire game, because that means that the opponents can begin to read and like be able to fall into that tempo themselves. And so, not a bad idea. I think the attack can try and swap it up, run out of tempo on the other side of the map, but a self flash and Jaga pushes in nonetheless. There are opponents right around the corner though. He's going to be able to check for it. Oh, one check is right into him. And it's going to be Rudy though that takes out Yaga, and Cookies takes down Rudy. So, an unfortunate turn of events. Motiv8 are up in 2 kills. Almost 3, because Sippin has like not even 1 HP.
Yeah, Spit on OJ on literal 1 HP. RTC's can grab 2 though into Cookies and Talon. Cookies bleeding out behind the bar. So he cleans up his teammates down. He's going to walk straight past the Valcam and Sunrise entrance as well. Spit on OJ's most likely going to get a reset here. Doesn't want to stay on 1 HP much longer. And this is, I think, the longest round we're going to have in this match, as we're 75 seconds left in the round. And we're still going for resets on the roof. Sinister severely repelled on that Sunrise entrance, though. Motiv8 able to hold off. It was just really Talon and Cookies. That aggressive run out from the office doorway to get the backside of sipping on OJ as he tried to push the blue bar window.
I don't know what Yellow heard trying to sneak into Sunrise himself. So he may know that there's a little bit of activity still outside, but yeah, that reset took maybe a little too long. They wanted the men. They wanted to keep it 3 versus 3. But now we have only 40 seconds left, and there's not a lot of map control. But Sippin, he's continuing to run through some gas. Yellow and Billboard each pick up 1 for themselves. Then Yellow through the smoke finishes the final kill onto Aviation. It's a Motiv8 after going down the very first round. Now take the lead at 2-1.
Yeah, so Sinister, I think their playbook's gonna get read here a little bit by Motiv8. It's that early aggression entry, and the first round it obviously worked out with flying colors. The second round they were able to get in because of the peel back by Motiv8, and I think the first round was just a case of Motiv8 trying to take that challenge initially and miserably failing. And then on the third round this time they try to pile in through the Sunrise entrance. And I call that it was a good thing that Yaga had waited for the support to come over from his teammates, but that's also back-to-back rounds now. We've seen Sinister commit a TK. They're not doing themselves any favors on their entry either, and there's so much chaos going on in the entries. It's turning into a mini bloodbath on wherever Sinister want to enter the map, and Motiv8 are putting up a good fight on the entry.
Speaking of Sinister getting red, is that the reason why the Capcan's getting brought into this?
I think they're sick of the shield, first of all. So
Fair.
The Capcan, not a bad pick to take against the shield, especially also opting to bring the Nitro Cell instead of impact grenades. And he's, I mean, this is where we've seen Sinister try to go for this entry 2 out of 3 rounds, both times attacking Pen Theater. So not a bad call. You know, switch drone from Aviation as well. Going to spot that out and take 1 down. There's still 2 placed on the far side of the map, and that's exactly where Aviation will head. The Ying as well. So Sippin' on OJ. Done with the Sippin' on OJ special. Done with the Fuse Shield. Going to be bringing the Ying. I imagine that's a T95 and not a Ying shotgun. There we go.
Always
we've seen a little bit more Ying though.
So Sippin' on OJ, rushing forward, taking out the cameras. Trying to go and do hook on the other side of the map, put pressure, yada yada yada, etc., joining in as well. Not walking in blind. Everyone's just joining in for themselves right now. It's pretty standard, but Rudy finds a kill on a Billboard. I mean, such a strong spot, open window. It makes it very hard to even really be able to position yourself inside that room that's open, and that's the mirror already down.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk you through one of the Capcan traps, but immediately peeking the hallway as Cookie looks away. Sipping on OJ, gonna drop him down, launching a Candela. Aviation takes down Yellow as well, so that's the double VIP hold dispatched quite easily. The anchor taken down, but Talon on the flank comes VIP, not checking window. A wonderful flick will drop Aviation. Chap cleans it. Rudy will trade him out from all the way on top of the pool garage on the rappel. Talon, the last man alive, going to go for the vault out. As he's putting on a shield, Rudy will fall. It's down to a 1v2. RTC with the fuser in hand could have taken sight in the backside. They're aiming to do so now, right up against the mirror. He's got 2 mirrors facing against him. They have no idea where he is. Nitro Cell going to be launched right into the middle of the room. Drop RTC down to a 1v1 diffuser on the ground. Midway through the round, the pre-fire's coming out, and Talon is going to win it. Motiv8 up 3-1. On the backs of Talon alone. I think he's got 9 or 10 frags in the round now.
What an absolutely amazing comeback. Even at the end, they had the 2 close mirrors against him, but Talon was able to pull it out. He failed to deliver to this level on the first round, but because of him, Motiv8 are now up 3-1. They are winning this half no matter what, and there's 1 left. And look at that scoreline, 9-2-2. Everyone else below him only getting 2 kills. Look at that, yellow throwing in the hype as well. Talon is God.
What in the world just happened? There are so many instances in there where I was 1000% convinced Talon was dead. First of all, so that was okay. That was the 4K because Chap stole his down on Aviation. We'll give him the technical ace on that, and he should have had 10 by now. Fair. But The first time was Aviation flanking to the balcony double window for VIP. Talon wasn't even looking, and he flicks over and drops him. Second time is when we tried to vault out a window onto a Blackbeard. Thought he was dead at that point. Then he's going up against 1v2 against an Ash and a Thermite with 2 hard mirrors looking at him. I don't know how Talon wins that.
If the C4 missed or was taken out before it went off, he definitely wouldn't have won that. But like, still, what an amazing turnaround by him there. But yeah, that wasn't even necessarily. So whenever it's a comeback like that, a 1vx, a lot of times it's kind of standard to look at, okay, what did the team with the advantage do to mess that up? Which is never fair towards the people that come back in those situations, but in this time around, it really was. It felt like Talon just grabbed them by the throat.
Okay, flashbang's not really gonna land on their target. Rudy is the Blackbeard trying to get on top of these planters. Has to pull up the Deagle to do so. A nice angle inside, but Pillport's gonna start things off onto Yaga. That's the Dokkaebi off the board immediately. Chap clearing off his mirror for him. They're taking a little bit of damage, both of them, the anchors on site. This is another good start for Motiv8, though, as they looked pretty shaky on round number 1. Looks like it was a wake-up call, and they've been on a roll ever since.
You just need that one warm-up round. Or at least your star carry player needs that one warm-up round. Sipping on OJ, peeking into the front lobby right now. Has some drones coming in as well to give him information. Don't know if they spotted out Yellow. Yellow definitely knows there's a player there. The shot that was going to give his position away was a little bit of a bait. As he now falls back.
Sipping on OJ, really wary of that Lambo mirror. He's not trying to press in through Lambo just yet. The Twitch drone of Aviation going to be coming in and popping the Lambo mirror to afford. Sipping on OJ, a little more breathing room. Trying to enter in through Lambo, or at least just escape up the theater stairs, while simultaneously being able to pre-aim. Chaps still going to play the mirror, and you've got Cookies on the Maestro inside courtyard and 3 Sinister attackers, one of them notably with the diffuser piled outside the kitchen window. This is a very long angle ACOG v ACOG, and Cookies just missing the shot, unfortunately. Rudy, though, going to take down Billboard as the Candela comes flying in, tagging him once or twice, now going back and forth between the soft wall, unable to land the finishing blow. As I say that, Cookies drop, sipping on OJ, being off the board, and they have the 4v3 advantage. A minute remaining, you still have 2 outside the kitchen window and Rudy at the service door.
Ambitious peek by the Ying. And as he said, advantage goes away. Motiv8 Yellow continuing to push that in their favor. It's now a 4 versus 2. RDC is still at full health, but Rudy is down to, what is that, about 30? It's a Blackbeard, so it's not the worst to have on a lower health metric, but still, 38 seconds left. Not a lot of time for them to work with anything. And Blackbeard's not usually the best operator for the quick and fast pushes. They're going to slowly sneak in through lobby. RTC holding a separate angle. Listening, trying to spot someone through, and he actually does get Yellow, but that's only after Cookie drops Rudy. This RTC left in a 1 versus 3. Gets shot in the back. It's peeked from the other angle, and Chap's going to take it. Gonna be Motiv8 up 4-1 on half number 1.
Yeah, Motiv8. So they look much more convincing on the kitchen service defense that time around. By actually playing site a little closer this time. Last time around, it was just a war zone in Sunrise, and
yeah,
they come out on top in that aspect. But this time again, it's the denial of entry into the building coming out from Motiv8 that is stalling Sinister out so aggressively. Sinister can't find a way into the map on attack. They lose 4 attacking rounds, in which a few of them they actually made it into the map, and one of them they had full site control and allowed the Capcan of Talon to retake it. For Sinister, I think this is definitely not where you want to be, and I'm sure they're a little shocked, as we are, really, that they're in this kind of position, considering they've had good starts to a majority of the rounds. They lost a 3v5, a 2v5, and then from there on out, they've also had rounds where they can't get inside the building, let alone even establish some kind of map control.
Yeah, it's not even just Talon going off. He's only really done that a couple of rounds. they have him for like the safety net in a way, but it doesn't seem like that Motiv8 are relying strictly on him in order to perform, in order to compete. And so even if Talon does drop off for this half, the swap, make some adjustments to play Talon, he's not as good on the second half. That's not all Motiv8's firepower going away, but nonetheless we are going to be in the second half, side to swap. So we are going to see how Sinister are adjusting to the defense.
So that looks a little familiar. The impact grenade into the hallway from the theater with a deployable shield facing theater stairs. Clearly Sinister reading that Motiv8 are going to be going for a theater stairs take. That is yet to be determined. Motiv8 still have plenty of time in the round to make that decision. They want to go for a mid-round swap. They are angling like they want to go for it though, so it could be a good initial read for you from Sinister. But this is also something we saw from Powerhouse in the never-ending overtime game on Coastline against Sinister. In their inaugural CCS game, it was Powerhouse who brought this out first, and then Sinister replicating that early on. I guess they liked what they saw and have worked on it a little bit more. So on OJ allowed to break this surface door multiple times without Cookie's really doing anything about it. This is looking pretty rough. There is a Claymore on the door, but one more smack on the door, it's going to fall down. As I say that, Aviation will fall at the hands of Chap.
First casualty of the half does go down. Is going to put Motiv8 in the advantage, but Yellow gets taken down and fully finished as well by Sippin. He does finally pounce from his lurker position and is going to even it up 4-on-4. Has to rotate. Logic Bomb causes everyone to pause for a quick second. As a reminder to please leave your phone on vibrate. Slowly, the grip of Motiv8 is shrinking in onto Sinister. But with the minute 20, well, Talon is just now opening up the reinforced door. But Billboard finds Rudy. Chap finds Sippin. Makes it a 4-on-2 for the attacking side.
Okay, so some bad timing there as a Nitro landed about a centimeter short of finishing off Billboard. He's got 5 HP rushing up into Candela, takes down RTC right in his face with the T95. It's all up to Yaga now, smoking off his entry in, but repelling up the big window will be Cookies on the Twitch, firing shots back and forth, and Billboard finally gonna pop the mirror. Refire to the ejection, unable to land the shots, question mark?
The glass was in the process of falling down. It wasn't fully down just yet.
We had a couple of those lately, but Cookies able to shut him down with the P9 from big window. Motiv8 sends Sinister with their backs against the wall. Match point on Coastline. Once again, continuing the trend from last week, looking to topple some giants in CCS.
This will be this would be, I should say, Motiv8's first win on Coastline if they do end up taking this home. So I feel like we have done an adequate job of hyping up how big this game, this series could be, and Motiv8 are absolutely delivering right now, particularly Talon, but even just the entire squad. Sinister, they really need to bowl something out at this point. They are 4 rounds down. They need to win the next 4 in a row to send it into overtime, and I don't know how confident one would be in this situation because they just lost 5. They've lost 5 in a row.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a situation where they probably deserved to lose all 5, like I've talked about a couple times. Yeah. Sinister don't look like themselves this evening, and that was actually a bit of a common theme last week as well. There were a couple rounds there where Sinister looked a little off. I don't actually think it's anything to do with the roster swap. It's looking very similar to last week, honestly. It's just the outcome's not coming their way. Motiv8 are capitalizing on the mistakes that Sinister are making much better than I think it was Armada who played Sinister last week.
Yeah, and that's a really big thing to be able to do is capitalize on mistakes. And I feel like we kind of made this a little clearer, if not vagueness. The very beginning of top of show, how Sinister, mistakes aren't unknown to them. They just usually are able to kind of push past it, but Motiv8 are able to really stop them in their tracks because of it.
So, sipping on OJ as the kitchen service door ripped open. This time the Valcam's going to get spotted out. So we're seeing a Valkyrie on both sides of the board. And please tell me that is not Talon. pushing into the kitchen service doors, the breach on the initial push. Drone's coming in, gonna spot out, sipping on OJ. Multiple people lining up outside the service door, trying to take an angle towards sipping on OJ. Is that Jaeger? He's gonna back off and not take the angle much longer. Try and play the safer game, as a late flank could really be what Sinister need here to try and stop out this theater stairs take that we've seen be very successful, so long as an angle is held and the man advantage remains. A lot of retake opportunities from the VIP side, but one late flank coming through luggage or even pressing down 90 when the attack is not paying attention has been devastating to multiple theater stairs takes we've seen.
Is the laser beam gonna come out? Come on, give us that pew pew. No, he's just pinging up information right now. We do have a flank on the side. Double flank, actually, and it's gonna get both of them. Yaga, Sippin, and Aviation also chiming in elsewhere on the map as well, doing his part. So a very nice coordinated attack there is gonna put Sinister up this round. 5 versus 2, which is the Blackbeard and the line left. Chap does find one on the Sippin, makes it a 4 versus 2. He's gonna lower that, takes a lot of damage though, has to duck back behind the stairs. Billboard comes in from the opposite side. Secondary peek coming from Chap. Duck behind the shield, and Rudy spins around, gets the 90-degree flick, gets both remaining attackers. So Sinister do find one more.
Almost literally, we were about to see another Motiv8 comeback there. It was getting pretty close from the line and the Blackbeard, but no, Sinister able to close out that round with that just massive push onto the top of the theater stairs balcony. And whoever was playing downstairs in the Lambo, I really gotta
Believe it was Sippin on the Jaeger.
No, on the attack for Motiv8.
Oh,
I don't remember who that was, but there was someone outside Lambo door on a drone. Bad timing there as the Jaeger walked straight through Lambo and up theater stairs to initiate that flank. So that one's kind of on you, bud, but still a 5-2 scoreline. Motiv8 in favor heading into 6th pick, and Sinister gonna head to kitchen this time around on the defense.
Let's see how their kitchen hold matches up against what we saw from Motiv8. A nice hype round though could be what gets Sinister back. See if they can't capitalize on this and start to turn momentum back in their favor. A good effort being brought out by most of the players as well across the board. There's no single player that's particularly dragging everyone else behind.
I'm also just really shocked to see that the defense was winning the majority of the rounds in the first half and is now gone 1-1 in the second half. Considering Coastline, when played with the default operators, or when significant operators aren't banned out, it typically does play a little attack-sided. You don't typically see like constant defensive wins stacking up one after another. If anything, it'll go back and forth or stay a little attack-sided for the most part, but with the bans coming out like a Montaigne and an IQ, and then a Legion and a Pulse, like they seem so innocuous on the bans. We haven't seen really any shield play. Sippin' on OJ was shut down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It wasn't very effective on his play with the Fuse shield either. So the Legion seems very, very uninfluential. The Pulse as well. We haven't seen a lot of vertical play, and if we have, the Valkyrie has satiated that just fine. I guess really just the IQ has been the biggest thing allowing a Valkyrie to come out.
Yeah. Sometimes a ban though can just be a little bit like a comfort ban in a way. But we'll never know unless you're able to ask them directly. Nonetheless, we do no contact just yet between either team, but we do have the attackers continuing to position themselves around. We saw Yellow trying to peek in, wasn't able to catch the mirror though because of the shield in the way, but is continuing to hold the angle on to the bomb. Through the entry doorway. Aviation finds Cookies though for the very first kill. That's gonna be the buck out. Potential second frag coming through. Knows there's someone behind the door. Is prepping the nitro to toss it in. Holding it though, waiting for a sign from either a teammate or a sound cue or something. But has now been zeroed in by a couple of different drones. Billboard maybe sneaking on the side, but there is a Jaeger lying in wait. Sippin drops him down. That makes it a 5 versus 3.
A lot of time wasted here for Motiv8, trying to, again, find some entry into the map. Seeing some common themes on both sides. Aviation going for the run out, drops one of Talon. Diffuser on the ground, tried to pick up the second one. And he did, actually, by downing off Yellow. But on OJ, going to finish off the round onto Chapstick. So, Sinister on the back of back-to-back rounds. Pushing this closer and closer to an overtime not thought possible just a few short minutes ago.
2 rounds left. Motiv8. They just need to find one of them. But I don't know. Sinister have looked pretty good on the defense. Motiv8 looked a little, maybe not weak, but uncertain, just unable to really get inside, as you said. So
yeah,
it's been able to hold them off pretty well, thus so far after the very first round. That is.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Sinister kind of replicate the successes that Motiv8 had in that aspect. And it's 2 teams that play very differently, though. Motiv8 and Sinister are not teams that play similar play styles. You see a lot more, I guess, on the fly, off the cuff aggression coming out from Sinister than you would Motiv8. They're a little more of a structured team than I think Sinister are, especially bringing in Yaga as well. So having that that roster change again, they look slow in the beginning, but it seems like they've started to work out some of the kinks that they've had. Starting off this Coastline game, they head back to Penn Theater after being successful on the kitchen service defense, and it looks like they're going to be implementing the same kind of strategy here with that Maestro behind the deployable shield facing in towards the top theater stairs. And Motiv8, they were successful on their first attempt on that theater stairs take. Decimated the second time. I'd like to see maybe them try and swap it up and go for a VIP take, especially with Rudy stuck at 90 behind that deployable shield. It could work a pretty good pinch out onto him.
I will say, I used to really, maybe not dislike, it's probably a little too strong of a word, but I never understood the real strength of the deployable shield. But seeing it used like this, where it actually kind of extends a hallway rather than just being put in the middle of a site, I'm now sold on it. And so I actually think positions like that are really cool to see and really exciting to see be brought into the game. Let's see if it can't have great success once again.
Better than just sticking it in the window.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we've seen in a certain other league.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah.
Sip it on OJ, kicks out Yellow. Yes, thank you. It's the first kill. Once again, the Buck is taken out of commission. This time quite early. Ooh, that's not a good look for you, my dude.
So it looks like Motiv8 have heard my words through the ethos and opted to start moving over towards a VIP take, bringing the Thatcher in as well. Bit of a swap up. Yellow has that buck, so no vertical destruction coming out as he's the first one to fall. And there's also the verticality of the nitro cell of aviation to worry about as well. Valkyrie, we saw actually the last round they defended Penn Theater. Some nitro cell launched up by aviation from the kitchen that was about 2 feet away from dropping Chap. Again, the game of inches, sipping on Hoj with a nasty shot onto Talon through the wall to bring to a 5v3. Just
unfortunate timing there for the Thermite. Checked that angle before he got into position, or before the Jaeger got in position, but Chap and Yaga both find kills for themselves. Cookies walking straight past, though. That first kill is gonna make it a 2 versus 2, actually. A little bit over a minute left, and both defenders have been pushed back into a single site. But Chap is still hanging out in Aquarium. Still trying to find something, I guess. Not exactly sure where the last 2 remaining players are. You saw Cookies just get off his own drone. Perhaps spotted both of them there as well. You can see Chap holding that angle down the hall. Aggressive peek, doesn't find anything, is going to relocate himself out just in case there is a late flank. One in, hold everyone still. Mirror moves and the ghost moves for a split second, so they know generally where they are. Both still on the A site. Free fire comes through as well as a charge. That's gonna push Cookies back a little bit. Chap comes in, swinging in from the other side, and gets both at the end there. So Motiv8 Well, I did it. I actually did it.
Chap getting a little enthusiastic at the end there. Or actually, sorry, what was the chap? I think it was Talon. He came in on the other side, but someone was aggressively making sure their crouch button was working. But that's map number 1 in the books. Motiv8 going to take it by a scoreline of 6-3 on Coastline. Now we head to the second map of the evening, and possibly the map where Sinister acquired their first loss of Consulate.
Flynn's starting to get excited here. Just thinking about it. Let's look his lips at that. If I'm not mistaken, we are going to be going to a short break while we get the second map set up. And if I am correct in that assumption,
yeah,
we will be right back shortly. You're definitely not going to want to miss this because, I mean, Motiv8 taking the first map was surprising. Let's see if they can't do it a second time. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. While you and me repeat this bittersweet heat.
Welcome back, everyone, to map numero 2 between Motiv8 and Sinister Gaming. First map got me all hyped and excited, and so I cannot wait until we get immediately into this second map, which is, in fact, going to be on Consulate. Yes. So yeah, previous map, Coastline, Motiv8 winning that. That's their first Coastline win. They're now 1-1 on that one. This time around, they are already 1-1, so they at least have a little bit of a better starting line if you want to really look into it like that, even though the sample size is quite small. Sinister, though, are no schmucks on this map either. 3-1, undefeated, understandable. So I guess just some simple background while we go into it. It's not really going to change too much. But first operator ban is going to be Hibana, banned by Sinister.
Hibana ban on Consulate? I was actually expecting to see the Thermite ban if we were going to see a hard breach at all. I'm actually a little surprised that it's a Hibana. It doesn't really have as much of an impact on Consulate. Typically, the biggest reason you ban out a hard breach. There goes that Monty again.
They just don't like Monty.
No. I'm just surprised that it's not the Blitz instead of the Montaigne. That's a weird one. But again, like, if you're gonna ban out a hard breacher, typically the garage defense benefits a lot more from having that Thermite ban other than the Hibana.
So the next ban is going to be Valkyrie ban this time around, not the IQ, which we saw banned last map, as I suppose is the counter to that. And Sinister have the last ban into this one once again. Take a little bit of extra time to figure this one out, but where is it? Reveal it. Ah, yeah, fair, standard.
Yeah, Echo Ban coming out as the last one on the defensive side. Nothing crazy, especially on Consulate, a map that Echo has been played, I think, into the ground off of the update. But this is also something we've seen from specifically Jarvis on SK, which is the shoehorning in of Capitao into the Consulate game. And Capitao's never been a bad operator; he's just been a little neglected, and I'm pretty surprised that that Motivator bringing him out here, bringing a Thermite as well, garage defense coming out. Nothing really to deal with a Bandit or a Mute. In this case, it will be the Mute of Aviation build. Gonna swap off the Blitz to a Blackbeard. Okay, so still nothing to deal with the Mutes unless you get that piano control and start ripping up the floor, or IQ gets really lucky repelling on the piano windows.
Yeah, that's actually a big one. The Mutes do get planted down. It's not really gonna get. Yeah, I guess I don't really exactly see it happening. Otherwise, though, it's see what happens in the very first round. Let's see if that changes much going into this.
Alright, so Amira coming out downstairs on the defense as well on behalf of Sinister, as well as a Maestro. So once again, we see the Mirror slip through the ban phase. On Consulate, again, not the end of the world, and we're continuing the theme of maybe some uninfluential bans, but at least on defense, they are actually pretty significant on the Valkyrie and the Echo versus the Montaigne and the Hibana on attack. Once again, seeming pretty nominal as far as bans come out. Motiv8, I would honestly say, as they play the first half on attack, already taking map number 1 as well. They look to have won this op ban phase.
Yeah, keep in mind, though, they won most of their rounds on the defense. In fact, they looked a little shook on the offense. So we'll see if they can't reverse that this time around to get an advantage coming into this map once again. On the way, sweeping in through the top floor, pretty standard stuff. If you had to come across any resistance just yet. Yellow right now, just swooping on through. Is spotted out momentarily by the camera, so he's gonna quickly clear that. Doesn't give too much information away to the defenders. You know, they should know that the top-down sweep is happening.
Pretty typical take, and not a lot of resistance, like you said, from Sinister on the roam game. I'm interested to see where Sipon OJ is going to be coming in from, because that's usually his gig, coming in from behind and being that ultimate flanker, and really disrupting and causing a lot of havoc. There's an evil eye placed in the bathroom stall. Okay, you guys have fun with that. Frag grenade from Yellow going to be used to take that down. It's going to get shot anyways. It extends open the bulletproof glass and try and shoot at Talon inside the bathroom. And the hatch is jammed from a mute jammer on behalf of Aviation. So this is kind of where that Hibana comes into play, being banned out, is they're not going for the typical garage take immediately. You get a hatch first as well, playing a little more old school. A minute left on the board, and they've got to get the garage, which is allowing the defenders to really set up and feel extremely comfortable throughout the round.
Yeah, so the buck opening those piano cores does take out one of the jammers and does go back to get the first wall open. And once you get that first one, the second one is a lot easier. If they can open both of those up, then, well, a large entryway. The problem is, already under 35 seconds, a frag grenade is going to go behind. White truck doesn't find any connections there. Still peeking in through. Not a lot of defense on this side, but Talon finds the first one on the RTC. Chap finds the second. Aviation starts to turn it around onto Yellow. Rudy swings on the side, gets on Talon. The Aviation gets on Cookies immediately. It's all coming down to the very edge. Rudy finds Billboard. Now it's a 1 versus 3. Chap makes it a 1 versus 2, but with 14 seconds left, how much more can he do? Is charging down Yellow stairs right now. Understands the mirror, trying to run across, waiting for the pre-fire. It's pre-firing in return. Wants to go pick up the diffuser, has no choice. But Rudy comes swinging in from the side. Finds the final angle.
So these rounds are starting to look like one after another. It's either insane chaos in the first 30 seconds or more chaos in the last 30 seconds of the round. A lot of depth into the rounds. As far as exchanges go. So that setup there from Sinister, while it looked very reserved in the beginning, was well positioned to try and retake onto that garage at the end of the round. There's 2 people pushing behind the white van, and then a flank up spiral as well. That was a distraction and caused a lot of havoc. It was a well played bait there from Sinister to try and bring Motiv8 into the fray as much as possible. And last 30 seconds, lots of sprays, and you got an 81 bullet LMG. You can't really complain about that, especially when there's no pressure from anyone trying to displace him off that mirror.
Exactly. I wonder if Sinister would have had a less successful defense if Motiv8 didn't take so much time kind of clearing everything. But Sinister, they were able to put everything up, put it down to the wire before the attack happened. And even though the trade's pretty even for the most part, when the clock is now suddenly very much against you, it forces you to make decisions that you otherwise wouldn't have. To motivate, if they're able to tighten up that, if they're able to kind of get that early round janitorial work perhaps done with the quicker, then perhaps they'd be more successful. But it was just one round, so they can learn from that mistake for their own sakes. And round number 2, however, let's see a little bit of a mix-up because we're on different sites. You're gonna see the Pulse come in on the defense, but also the Jaeger in on the attack. First time we've seen both of those operators this series.
Also interesting from Motiv8 not bringing any breachers on this round. I guess really betting on not having to take any unexpected alleyways. I guess not wanting to breach in from the back of the A wall from long desk. Not trying to breach in through skinny wall at top of Yellow. They want to take this. I guess my first thought would be window fights, but they didn't bring a Blackbeard either for that. So I'm just curious what Motiv8's thought process is here. They've got Talon on the Jackal. Again, so the smoke grenades are nice, but the tracking when defenders are playing top 4 on Consulate not really the most necessary thing. It's a fascinating lineup for Motiv8, honestly. A lot of soft destruction, 4 frag grenades, smoke grenades. They just, I don't know. It seems like a lineup that hasn't really been fully put together. They got some pieces, but nothing really to bring it all together, like a glass see through the smokes, or a Blackbeard to post on the window, or a hard breach to displace some anchors. They're a lot of utility and nothing to do with it.
I mean, with the amount of frag grenades as well as the fire arrows, maybe their decision is all about kind of like zone control. But hey, softball discovered, so the sight line even though they can't crawl in through it. Yeah, still no connections from either side. Just over 1 minute and 20 left. Yellow is posted up here on yellow stairs. Very fitting position for him to take. First frag grenade is going to be tossed in. It's going to cook it a little bit, but the Jaeger is going to drop it. Cancel the first one out. Ooh, Chaps is successful though. Finds Sippin's face dead on. Here comes Yellow's second attempt through. It didn't deal any damage. But this is at least allowing the attackers to slowly surround B. In fact, Yellow being here on Yellow's stairs is a really good position. The gas canister comes out to try and displace him. But it doesn't go far enough to push him fully back, and he can still fire through. Small hallway.
40 seconds now, the plant is going down in behind the desk. The Russian from the smoke, but Billboard will drop RTC. Aviation will fall as well at the hands of Yellow, and all of Sinister are wiped off the board in a flurry as Motiv8 with 4 kills in the span of about 10 seconds. Clean up that round again. Wait until the round is nearing its close, and we're seeing a lot of action. Last time it was trading back and forth. This time, very one-sided in the way of Motiv8.
Yeah, on round number 1, they let it go. You know, they were kind of forced to wait till the very end. I think they waited a little longer than last round, so they kind of just had to rush in. This time around, though, they spent all that time actually gaining control of the space, control of the area, and Sinister kind of just letting them take it. Perhaps it would have been different if that first frag grenade from Chap didn't find its target. That would have had that 5th member could have been critical on how the defense was set up, but nonetheless, Motiv8, they won that round very confidently. Round number 3, going back down to Garage. Aviation is going to swap back onto the mute. No buck this time around from Motiv8. So now I really don't know how they plan on clearing those devices off the garage wall.
Just to rely on going in for that top-down take once again, getting Chap in the piano. Like you said, they used the buck last time. Bringing Zofia, the line of the blitz sticking this time. We've seen the the blitz was an initial pick from Bill, and he 6-picked off it on the first round. Still, I don't know. I think the straight-up garage take will be working a little bit better if they were taking. I don't know. So now we've got 2 smoke grenades on the blitz. Again, no Glaz, and I'm surprised that we haven't actually seen a Glaz yet at all today, with the fact that he hasn't been banned out. Especially on 2 maps like Consulate and Coastline, a map where Glaz can be very dominant at holding off long angles of rotation, whether or not there's a smoke grenade present. Very effective at holding those angles. Same thing with Blackbeard, available in both games. Saw Blackbeard be used a lot on Coastline, but nothing here on Consulate just yet.
Maybe that's just to motivate disinterest. When it comes out, it actually does catch the positions of a couple of players. Not everyone, though, but the Thermites open up both sides of the garage doors. Ovia's throwing all her grenades in as well. They haven't to get a kill yet until, right when I say that, though, Billboard sneaks in and finds RTC. But they still need to push through. Aviation swinging out on the side. Rudy and Sip both finding one. Chap finding a second. The diffuser is already planted down. But Aviation's going for the defuse. Yellow finds the angle on him, however. Makes it a 3 versus 2. This round, complete different tempo from the previous ones.
Second EOD goes out as the spray is going back and forth. Billboard gonna drop him down. Chapman on the yellow stairs takes down Rudy and Yaga. And yes, like you said, different tempo, different pacing, different results. But yeah, it's either the first 30 seconds or the last 30 seconds between both of these teams.
I guess someone realized that pizza was coming, and so they wanted to get this particular round over with quickly so they can go answer the door. Nonetheless, Motiv8 are now up 2-1. Sinister, they are going to be going back to Garage Cafeteria for a 3rd attempt. 2nd in a row after losing that one. Motiv8, though, they're bringing back the buck, as well as a Twitch this time around. So even though they were able to successfully break in through last time, they really want that utility removal.
I'm not surprised by the constant mute picks as well. There's a bandit available to
It
them
was
on
a
the
fake out.
board. Yeah, speaking to the Capitao. The mute pick over the bandit. There wasn't a lot of pressure there from Yellow Stairs until the end of that round. In the beginning, to get the wall, it was very simple for Talon to walk up as the mute jammers were taking care of early on. We didn't really get to see that, but Aviation sticking to his guns in the mute when Bandit probably slow this down, and we've seen the urgency at which Motiv8 have been moving with in the beginning parts of the rounds where we see everything break down in those first 30 seconds. Again, swapping up the take, kind of like I said, instead of going for that top down, just going for the straight garage push. Yeah, interesting picks on both sides of the boards about what's staying and what's not being changed out.
There's always that kind of push and pull. You're trying to get ahead of the opponent. You have one operator who's very successful for one round. Do you want to swap them out and try and counter the expected of them? That's actually one reason why I think the 6 pick is another nice addition to the pick ban phase, because it allows you to adjust rather than just being a little more blind for scissor style. But either way, entering round number 4 right now. Drone process is happening. Once again, no real lurkers around. Sipping on OJ is the closest guy we got to going to a separate floor, and he's only halfway up. Okay, now he commits. I guess he heard me say that. And he wants to stand out. Aviation also going to be slowly sneaking up spiral staircase as well.
So going top down this time for Motiv8. They've gone back and forth, although the yellow from Yaga peek up from behind white stairs into the pre-placed kill holes. Try and take down yellows, trying to set the tone. Sinister are earlier on in this round, take that aggression to Motiv8. Talon again is that thermite, going to be most likely blowing the first hatch, and it didn't really have that much of an effect on the round that they attacked when they did go for the top down. It was that straight garage push that seemed so dominant. Spit on OJ gonna drop cookies as the first frag, and that's the smokes off the board. Another key part of the take the first time around. Pre-fires from Aviation just missing, and he's gonna take the brunt end of that engagement, dropping down to about 10 HP.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage for him. I don't think he's gonna take that engagement quickly. He does get reset, however, so back up to 50 HP. Better than what he was at previously. Sipping gonna be peeking in through holes made on the top floor. Doesn't spot anyone in piano just now. Billboard's gonna be just to the east of him. Aviation stuck back on spiral, recommitting to the old position. Peeking in directly. I'm really liking what Sippin's doing in this position. He finds one onto yellow, but Chep immediately trades that out. But it still kills time either way, even if it's just a trade 1-for-1.
Good forethought there to check for the spiral rotate, as Aviation was getting aggressive there as well. Peeking up those spiral stairs. You got 2 covering the backside. Yaga and RTC still watching the front. Chap waiting for a flank. 30 seconds remain as Billboard and Talon are focusing on the plant at the front of the garage, and Chap's going to be covering from above. Yaga, they're going to drop Talon's diffuser down. Yaga still playing from pipes as well. Unable to be pushed out. The smoke canister cutting off any kind of push through the garage, the breach hole. Rotate comes with the yellow. Chap gonna drop Aviation. You see they both go for the push down yellow stairs. Spray's coming in. Aviation hit them with a nice shot. They're going back and forth, but there's not a lot of hope here as Rudy and RTC finish it out, and Motiv8 caught up on the Roman, unable to lock down Sippin' on OJ. Take down 2 in that round. Very influential on the flank. Once again, we head into the last round of the first half.
Once again, Motiv8. The time just got away from them. They waited way too long, and at the end, they found had an opportunity to kind of turn that back. They got that first connect and making it a 2-on-3, but less than 10 seconds left. There's really not much you can do. So final round, it's all tied up right now, 2-2. Whoever takes this is going to be leading the game, leading this map going into the second half. But this time, complete swap. We're going to lobby press room.
Yeah, we've seen 3 runs of the garage, 1 run of the top floor, and it looks like Sinister have absolutely zero intention of running that top floor defense again after it got dismantled in the last 30 seconds of their only attempt at holding it. They head to lobby this time. Very similar op lineup coming out. See a Legion as well, so banned out in the previous matchup, makes it through the ban phase, unsurprisingly here on Consulate, and RTC going to be bringing him out. Not really surprised by any of the ops, really, and this is a site that you can play on all 3 floors. I imagine Yaga's going to be making a crap ton of kill holes in the floor. Aviation already goes in below and cuts me off before I can even say it, as that closet hatch will most likely get blown open. And a nitrocell coming from below from that closet hatch can hit pretty much anything on the south side of the lobby plant. Anything on the north side is going to be a little too far, but you also have that from the hatch coverage. Kill holes, a flank from Visa hallway, a flank from downstairs up spiral. There's so many possibilities to cover the B plant. It's really when the quick aggression from the attackers are able to secure a lot of piano control is when you see those post plants going in the favor of the attackers.
Billboard droning in right now. Didn't spot anyone, but spots a little bit of utility as well. Just knowing. But Yellow with the wide peak coming through. Drop sipping. Attempted trade comes back, but he's facing it dead on, even though he's down to, what is that, like 10 HP? Hatch above him is broken from the angle, waiting for the aggression to come through. No one's peeking into his crosshairs just yet. However, he spots one. Yaga stands still for just a quick second. Oh, can't get the third, however, as Aviation does trade him out, coming in up from below on the pulse.
Yellow doing a lot of work already in the beginning minute of the round, dropping the smoke, which is a huge plant delay off the board. Aviation taking a lot of damage in his engagement, was down to about 60, now dropped to about 10. Talon coming for a flank down Teller's hallways. Cookies is immediately pressuring onto Piano, spraying in towards the back. A nitrocell comes flying out, and Cookie's able to evade. A frag grenade will clean him up, and now it's down to a 4v2. Diffuser recovered by Chap outside the piano windows. Another frag grenade being launched in as the concussion mines follow. All the chaos in the beginning of the front half of B. Rudy and RTC left alone as the plant's coming down. He's coming out. Oh, he actually hit that one bullet in through the smoke. Rudy, though, going to drop Talon. The rush comes in. RTC grabbed a second on the Chap. Rookies, though, will take down RTC. The plant was stopped at the front door, though. Still 80 seconds. Plenty of time for Motiv8 to complete this. But Rudy will drop down Cookies. 1v1 now. Unable to get him back up, and Rudy sprang through the desk. I didn't think he was actually going to be able to see him from that angle. Looked like we had a client-side dead body, that was why. But Rudy able to win out that 1v2, and Sinister hang on. And a round it looked like it was going to go heavily in the favor of Motiv8 to initiate a little bit of a comeback of their own and take the first half 3-2.
Yeah, that Legion 2K in the middle there was really the thing that started to swing it back into Sinister's favor, but Rudy at the end as well doing work on the Maestro, and they are going to go up indeed 3-2, but now the sides have swapped. How are these two teams going to adjust thusly? Motiv8 going down to Garage for the very first round. Sticking on the mute themselves. Mute seems to be a very popular pick now for Garage.
The Rook from Yellow? Interesting call. Typically we'd see a Dock, if anything. No Echo as well. It seems like just a little bit of a waste of utility. The only real benefit I could say for Rook Armor in this position is that auto down. Considering the range at which you're taking engagements from Garage, usually attackers aren't pressed up against the Garage breach hole right away. Hello, Billboard? What you doing?
All right, this is some silver strats. I'm down.
He loves it. He loves it. He's going for it. I like this. Hi, Bill. How you doing?
I mean, like, okay, so it does open up the utility from, in this case, the mute to be used elsewhere while still having at least a little bit of defense or stallation against the hard breach. In this case, the RTC on the Thermite. But in order for this to work, if you want to be up close the way that Billboard is, you need to make sure that you maintain control of Yellow Stairs. So So far, it looks like Billboard's happy to do both, but we'll see if another teammate can come and make an adjustment based on happenings in the round.
I'm actually just so lost as to what the intention is with the mirrors. Is it just to dissuade them from actually initially pressing up against the wall? Is it just for the breach? Do they want to open those and take gunfights through them? Like,
It's
what
my
you
guess.
doing here, boys?
My guess is just to be able to stop, like, pop the thermite charge. That's all I can think of. It can't be for a fight. Especially
the
if
crouch
they know
too.
that-
Like, there's no way you're winning that engagement against an ACOG with a reflex at range on a crouch mirror. Like, there's just so much going against you. You can't even really hit the headshot because the garage starts to ramp up a little bit on the outside.
You know who can hit a shot? Yaga. Directly into the sternum of Talon. So already Sinister are going to go up with a big advantage now. They got a kill onto the Legion, half damage onto the Mute. Still a minute 30 left. In fact, they slowly take out the Rook as well. So slowly Sinister are closing in on the garage. He finds one onto Yaga, starts to turn it around a little bit. And actually, with the SMG finding the glass, that's an interesting pickup. I'd like to see how that gun duel broke out. But either way, it's definitely good. Grab Cookie finds a second onto Aviation. Now it's virtually tied up 3-on-3.
So comebacks on comebacks on comebacks have been the story of this game. Rudy pressuring the Yellow Stairs door, not going to commit to pushing in just yet as he's solo. Rotate from Sinister coming out, flashbangs burning. No ADSs actually, as the Jaeger's not on the board. Thermite charge is coming out, but the mirror's working against RTC. The thermite charge shot by Billboard, flying in behind white towards the ejected mirror on the left-hand side. Smoke canister coming out from sipping on OJ. So right side, or sorry, the left side now will tend to be breached open. The Nitro Cell almost gets the thermite charge, but the wall will get opened up with 35 seconds remaining.
That's the thing, though. 30 seconds now. They were able to open up one of the halves. Second logic bomb does come in. It's going to be a little bit of a disservice for the defenders. But the time running out. We saw this work against Motiv8 time and time again on the previous half. Sipon OJ does sneak down from Spiral. Takes a gunfight. Can't find the connections, though. Pulls out Mark 14. RTC, though, does find Cookies. Makes it a 2-on-3. It's just the mirror left, but time is running out. Billboard makes it a 2-on-2. Peeking around the side. Rudy finds one. No, it's being committed right now. Just the Chaplet pulls out the pistol, but takes a duel with the Blackbeard. Rudy, sorry, is going to come out on top of that.
Another close round in the end there. 3v3 for about a minute remaining. And we see the mirrors on the garage wall almost completely foil the plan of Sinister and work out beautifully for Motiv8. I was actually really hoping they would, just to see some crazy stuff. Strat number 60-something in the Book of Talon there. Fascinating. Unfortunately, didn't work out as intended, and now they head back downstairs. And I don't imagine, although there's no Hibana, which maybe this was the intention for Motiv8 all along, is when we get to our defenses, we're going to slap some mirrors in the garage and make them try and breach.
Yeah, and it was somewhat successful. Sinister did still come out on top in the end there, due in part to having a really good man advantage in the beginning of the round. Almost got turned back on their head, but unfortunately Motiv8 couldn't complete that comeback. What they want to do is just not lose those players in the very beginning this time around.
So, Garage, Cafeteria, Talon bringing out the Castle instead of the Legion this time. So the Legion mines not be too effective at slowing down sipping on OJ. That Doe could be pushing down Spiral at the conclusion of last round. Billboard's going for it, man. Billboard is just going for it once again. They are loving this. They ban out the Hibana, and I guess that's what it was. You know, beginning of the map, I was very confused that the Hibana ban over a Thermite ban, and they were on attack themselves. So I guess this was the game plan coming out, and if anyone out there predicted it, you're psychic, man, because I never would have picked this out. Out of a million different strategies I could think of, this was not it.
Learn something new every day. Joining phase coming on in. See a couple of people continue to get banned by Battle Eye. Battle Eye doing so much work. Blackbeard peeking into the top. Wait to see if anyone put it up. Who's that? Come on. Come on. Okay. Okay. We're gonna hit the summer run. No, he's not even going for the drone anymore. He's too embarrassed by that. Just doesn't want to even touch his phone control device this time around. Already have aviation coming in from the other side. Alternatively, drone in front of him, peeking through. It's standard stuff right now. No one's on the top floor, but they got to search through it anyway, because just in case. But it's only getting shorter and shorter.
One of the biggest things for Sinister on their defensive rounds of the garage and how effective they were at stalling out Motiv8. It wasn't necessarily that their roam game was set up initially deep throughout the map and entrenched incredibly difficultly into specific areas. It was that it was so fluid and that the late flanks could constantly come out. Yaga gonna take down Chap. He was roaming over by the Visa stairs. Aviation gonna drop yellow as well. Talon gonna trade one out onto Aviation as all the chaos jumps out at once. The shield being taken down. The impact nades launching in from Talon. He tries to scurry and escape to the bottom of yellow stairs. A 3v4. Motiv8 have to battle their way out of with 80 seconds remaining. They try to push the garage, but no late flanks can be coming out from Motiv8 in this round.
Yaga sneaking in. Down spiral, RTC does find one on a Town, though. Once again, 4 versus 2 advantage for Sinister. Motiv8 just aren't able to keep their players alive, and Billboard tries to move around. White Band gets spotted and sprayed at momentarily. A second peek comes up from the side. And what it is, just barely able to trade that out, though, finding the dome of Sippin, but is still left in a 1-on-3 nonetheless. Rudy with a nice pre-fire, or perhaps spotted the head past the window. That's exactly what happens. Zoop! Reaper through is gonna find the mass connection onto Mira. And ooh, Sinister, they have a lead now.
So we're seeing a little bit of a similar story here between Coastline and Consulate. Both with a large extension of a round lead after a 3-2 half, and honestly, or sorry, it was a 4-1 half for Motiv8 on Coastline. Motiv8's defense downstairs, I mean, I like the attempt of the mirrors on the garage wall. It's just clearly not having the desired effect, and like I tried to touch on there in the middle of the round before things started to pop off, it was sipping on OJ really just doing work on that delayed flank. Right now actually only has 4 frags on the entire game, and it's Rudy with 12. But while he only has 4 on the board, they were detrimental every single time, with his ability to constantly snake his way around the map without being spotted out. And even when Motiv8 were going for a top-down clear, they lost control of pivotal locations to allow Sippin' on OJ to rotate top floor, to rotate and hide inside of like Visa or Tellers and wait out the round and then come in and be absolutely devastating to the late round push from Motiv8. That's just not happening from Motiv8 on their defensive side. Their roam game is being, I mean, whatever is their roam game. Really, we saw 5 on site for the first minute and change last round. It was just as Chap tried to go up the Visa stairs to try and even initiate any of that he got dispatched quite early. Motiv8 just doesn't have that happening right now, and I think it's Sinister just not leaving any gaps for that rotation at all.
Yeah, definitely a good showing by them. We need 1 round left to finalize this map and send us to map number 3. They shouldn't let that get to their head, though. Or they can still come back. They have the ability to, but still, they have the advantage on the side of Sinister, nonetheless. Yaga on the IQ right now, trying to peek in, spots out a couple of pieces of utility. Suspects someone to be here. Or actually may have spotted out Yellow using his ERC-7, don't exactly know, but he now knows that there's someone in here because Yellow pre-fires out, finishes opening up that window barricade. Doesn't find any connection himself, though. And so he's going to continue just prone down, lie in wait, and delay the push in from this side of the map.
It's funny, it was actually the mute jammer sitting at his feet, so Yellow It was actually pretty lucky that he didn't have the ERC on. He was sitting on the mute jammer, because if he had it on, the IQ of Yaga would have domed him off rip instead of trying to fire into a metal filing cabinet where the mute jammer was sitting behind. Aviation ripping up the floor of projector, meeting room, A-bomb, if you want to call it. He's going to evacuate to the break room mirrors. He's not trying to hard hold in admin anymore. And Sinister looked like they were starting to position themselves for that admin take initially, and they've gone for a little bit of a rotate towards the B windows, as now Aviation's going for a push coming back with RTC. Rudy's going to take down Billboard, and the pinch coming from Aviation, but Chap wins that engagement. RTC able to take down Yellow. Chap drops RTC, sipping on OJ with the trade onto the Talon. It's all going back and forth, and it's all Chap alone, but he has the diffuser inside of Visa. He's come back up the Visa stairs to establish a little more site control. With 70 seconds remaining, it's Chap to hold out against 3 to keep Consulate alive.
But he has the 2. He's going to have to go for the ace if he wants to get this win. And with a minute left, that's a lot of potential readjustments by the attacking side. And so Chap is taking the initiative and readjusting himself, seeing if he can't catch them head on unexpectedly. But here comes Yaga seeking around the side, spotted up by someone else, though. That does force the Mute away. Mute's not going to be peeking into that. Drops charge, doesn't find a connection. Oh, that timing did not work out in his favor. And that is going to be map number 2, going the way of Sinister. We're all tied up 1-1 right now. So we are going to a third map. And that is going to be Border, which is a completely different can of worms for both of these teams. But what a showing by Sinister, by Rudy specifically. Rudy just went off this map. Look at that.
Yeah, it was impressive to see from Sinister there. The late round calls coming out on the push. I actually, watching it from spectator mode, I couldn't get a read on what they wanted to do. Honestly, throughout that entire round on the attack, you know, they positioned themselves for an admin take, call for a rotate to go B windows, and then you've got the guy with the diffuser trying to double push with a buck through Visa, just rush up the stairs, and there's 3 more attackers on the other side of the map. It was insane. But hey, man, they find a way to make it work, and they're going to send us to Border, our decider, a map in which we saw Motiv8 dominate DG last week. See if that's going to continue on the other side of a break. We'll be right back.
I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Yeah.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to map number 3. This is Border. It's going to be the epic finale versus this heavyweight matchup versus Sinister and Motiv8. It's been really good so far, and it's basically been exactly what we hyped it up to be. So you're welcome. Motiv8 just coming out after last week's performance earlier this week against Rogue in another event, and then here now they're really bringing it to Sinister, our undefeated team in the league right now. Motiv8 previously is 3-5, but they're playing like they're a lot better. Like their scoreline should be a lot better than that. And if they can actually finalize this series against Sinister, it's going to be huge, I think, for both of these teams right now. The interesting thing about Border is that Border is statistically Sinister's best map, statistically Motiv8's worst map. However, we saw Motiv8 last week against Disrupt really bring it to them on Border. And so you definitely can't count these kids out on this map anymore. The question is, are they going to be able to bring what they brought last week once again versus Sinister? Yeah, I think that's it. As we go into the first. Yeah, we're just waiting on the players right now. Give us a couple of seconds. I suppose we pop back in just a little earlier. But yeah, so also waiting on my partner. Right
Hey,
now.
I'm back.
Oh my God,
I'm
you're back!
here.
Perfect timing. Oh, I should have trusted you. I should have just
I'm
blind thrown it.
here. I just got back. We're good.
I should have known. We should. This is why you need to do trust falls as a casting duo. I should have known that you would have been there right at the last second to catch me.
So, one team just needing a couple more seconds before we can get into Border.
They said they were ready. They're liars.
Yes. Common theme between both the maps. It's a lot of chaos, really, between the two teams. It's a lot of waiting and then a lot of trade outs coming out in the last 30 seconds, or it's a lot of action in the first minute or so. Not a lot of in between. It's not really like a well-paced out round at all. I don't think we've actually seen a well-paced out round in
fair.
9 rounds on Coastline, and then that was 8 rounds, I believe, on Consulate. Like it's chaotic, man. It must be hard to play and never really knowing for either team when that absolute rush is coming into sight, because it's either a full building take and then last 30 seconds it all breaks down in a 4v4 or a 5v5, or it is just anarchy in the beginning.
Yeah, it really is, as we've seen, just trying to be the ones to make that first connection, which you may think is all about raw aim, raw, mouse mechanics, but that's not the case. The whole idea of the tactical side of the game is putting your players in situations that they have advantages in a gunfight, whether it's putting yourself in a 2 versus 1 or having just an advantage in a 1 versus 1 fight. And so that's where a lot of the play can come through, is trying to put your team with the advantage in the very beginning, because once you have that 5v4 lead on manpower, it just opens up a lot more opportunities for you.
Capitao ban? Again, we're seeing some wild bans come out, man. Like some wild bans. It is interesting.
Motiv8?
Hey, man, we've seen it consistently, back to back.
Oh my god, I'm the greatest.
Yup, Montaigne ban once again. And I'm surprised it's not the Blitz, honestly. But on Sinister's behalf, we haven't really seen a whole lot of the Blitz come out. I think they've only pulled it like once on Coastline, and I don't think we ever saw a Blitz from Sinister on Consulate.
We didn't see any Blitz, I don't think, this entire time. All we've seen was the fuse from Sinister.
Ooh. I like the Jaeger ban, though. That seems a little more on par for the norm. If this isn't a Mira ban, I'll be shocked, though.
Bam.
There we go. That's more like it. We're returning to norm. So off the bans, I'm going to say the defensive side of Sinister for their first half. Again, winning that ban phase. Although the Capita has been pretty influential for Motiv8 through both maps. Yeah, there's other things you can use, because now that the Jaeger's gone, you can use frag grenades to displace anchors. There's other operators with smoke grenades. Although, as I say that, Motiv8 not bringing any. And no glass. Once again, no glass being brought out in Bathroom Teller's initial defense from Sinister. We're getting real special here on the first round of Border.
We're getting weird.
We're getting weird
right
indeed.
Oh, okay. There we go.
A thermite.
Yep, 6th pick is pulling out the thermite instead. Is that perhaps because they saw those Bathroom Tellers? I'm assuming. Now it's also being traded out to smoke now.
Well, they can't see the site. They can just see the ops.
Yeah.
Swapping to a Valkyrie as well.
Thought it was a smoke swap at the end. Thought Valkyrie was picked from the beginning.
I'm insane. Yes, I'm bad at.
These are the 5 that we have in play right now.
Yeah. The one thing I will note is that it's the Bathroom Teller's defense is typically the 4-man hold topside. I think we've seen that really come into play from DG, mostly from their Bathroom Teller's hold on the Border. Is that office and that fountain hold topside that really is the key to this, and it's about that implementation and that positioning of the defenders. It makes it so difficult to deal with. We're gonna get 5 people upstairs. I'm almost positive we're gonna see at least 1 person drop, and we get 2.
Drop it straight back down. Yes, we get the shotgun. We get the ACS as well by Maestro. I get that his LMG is really strong, but that much wall destruction, I don't know. That's just, I'm all about it. So it's definitely being used to full effect this time around, and this is definitely a good site to have it used.
Yeah, especially with the way it's being played. You know, you're gonna sit in a pretty confined space inside of office or fountain and wait for people to come in and remove you from play. You're battling in a box. You're basically just anchoring off-site. Yaga can go for the run though and take down Yellow. The sledge off the board, and that's 2 of the frag grenades that I talked about being used to displace the, I guess, technical anchors inside of office and archives and fountain off the board.
Attempted counterattack coming in on the west side. Ooh, gets the drop on the Sippin. They don't exactly know what that is, but there they go. Peek out to the second time. Talon finds Sippin and ease up to a 4-on-4. But here is the second peek from the Valkyrie. Talon peeks away just at the right time, saving his skin. But a nice frag grenade is gonna come through right before the C4 can be deployed in return. So Yaga getting taken out. Advantage continues to stay on the side of Motiv8.
3rd member of Aviation, I believe. Preston said a locker sandwich. No, it's the Echo, the roaming Echo of RTC. A 2nd frag grenade being deployed. He's got the Supernova as well in the bearing 9. He's going to drop the server hatch. Save his life. They all rotate downstairs. 1:10 on the board. Motiv8 done a wonderful job of clearing out top 4 without time for ever actually having to get into Fountain or Archives. And Rudy's just going to town with the A12.
Open up all these walls. He hates wood. Drop down, coming into servers. Doesn't find any connection just yet, but holding the angle, runs up the stairs. Perfect time to dodge those bullets. However, on the other side, Chap does find RTC. Cookies recommits back down to the bottom floor, but that drop may have been heard. Doesn't check the right angle, but gets the flick onto Aviation. Absolutely should not have won that. Gonna pull out the electron detector. Does a little bit of detecting on his own. Finds one Valkyrie cam. Chap finds one onto Rudy at the very end. Give the attackers the first round.
The auto shotty able to down Chap, but not finish him off with the last bullet. Takes down Rudy with that AA-12, that automatic shotty, the 30-some-odd shell drum mag. I'm very shocked at Sinister's decision there to constantly press that armory wall entry from Motiv8. You know, we saw it on Coastline a lot where it was constantly repelling the entry of the attackers. We're not going to let you get inside the building.
Yeah.
For this bathroom teller's hold specifically, it works a lot better, and I've noted it on other broadcasts before, in the way that DG play it. They seem to have really figured out how this works. Is you play Archives, Fountain, and Office like a box, and you hold out inside that box with as many people necessary for as long as possible until you just can't stay anymore and y'all break out and it just turns into a massive chaotic firefight. Instead, they keep just sending people over in a 1v1 at that armory wall to die slowly more and more, and RTC actually had the forethought to get out and save his own life by dropping the server hatch, or else he probably would have been taken down as well from the double push. And it was just Sinister were putting all of their defenders in unfavorable positions to go against two attackers pressing that wall.
Yeah, and that just goes to show how we noted this before. I believe it was on Coastline that we brought it up. Motiv8 have been successful in previous rounds and previous maps about seeing an opening in Sinister's either defense or attack, and then it's going full force at it. And once you're able to, it's basically like a chip in the dam. Once you open it up, the adjustments that you need to make as a defender or attacker once you lose someone can sometimes like spiral out of control. And that just kind of plays back into the narrative that I was saying in the very beginning about how you gotta get that opening pick, or you don't got to, but that opening pick is often very, very impactful.
Of opening picks, the first one to die last round, Yellow for Motiv8, picking up the sledge once again, and not a bad decision for Motiv8 to bring out a plethora of frag grenade operators. As the Jaeger's been banned out, and that's going to be detrimental to a lot of anchors attempting to play in common locations of Valkyrie can't get spotted by Cookies with that IQ. As we saw the IQ being banned on Coastline, I was surprised that that ban didn't come out again, but Sinister believing that the Capita was more impactful on their game than the IQ is.
Yeah, beacon on the side. Looks like he wants to take a fight. No one's meeting him just yet. Kind of teasing in right now, slowly crawling through the offices. Doesn't want to get fully in towards it though. Wants to wait for teammates to kind of put some more pressure from opposite angles. It seems like offices and the fountain is the name of the game.
Still plenty of time here to go for a rotate if Motiv8 choose to do so. Second Valk cam going to be taken down from Cookies on the IQ, so he's having a lot of success, obviously. No bandit charges pre-placed on the Archives wall. Most unfortunate is Chap's going to be able to open up the Archives wall and start pressuring from radio desk. And the biggest factor for winning those Consulate rounds was that late flank of Simon OJ, and he was over and still is inside a CCTV, angling to go for that flank down hallway if that gap is afforded to him. But he got one outside the break door, setting up a flank drone as the double push comes towards site. And he also had Yellow on the east stairs as well. So they got a lot of backup here. Motiv8, they're going to play the 3v3 on site. Try and press in and get this plan down. You still have echo drones on the board. Smoke canisters coming out from the defense. Going to be damaging Chap slightly as he's trying to go for that plan. A frag grenade comes in for a little bit of more support. There's 40 seconds left of the plant's going to be completed by Chap in just a second. Middle half wall, Rudy spraying in, but it'll be Chap standing up in behind the desk. Billboard grabs a second. Yaga trades Yellow, but it's a 4v2. Chap has been down. Won't be able to get picked back up. Checking AC's Aviation on that smoke. Checking in towards the window. He's going to spot the down Chap. Billboard going to drop RTC, though, in Aviation. You wanted to try and go for a quick little defuse with three attackers standing all on multiple angles surrounding him. Motiv8, though. A wonderful attack in towards the Archives and not affording any leaks for Sinister to come for a late flank.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't really look a lot at him. but it was, I believe, Cookies on the Thatcher that round who got 2-3 kills at the end. No, I'm assuming it's Billboard because he's back onto it.
Yeah.
Him holding, like, he just had like a side angle as well. He wasn't a part of the initial attack, but talking about those breaks in the attack, the holes for roams and rotates to go through, he had that on lockdown, and him holding that angle, I'm sure, is a crucial part on how Motiv8 are now up 2-0.
So it looks like Sinister this time. They want to go back to Armory Lockers, but they decided to swap things up. So instead of banking on that late flank coming out from Sippin' on OJ, positioned inside of CCTV, they're going to go for a double hold downstairs with Yaga taking the Ella and Aviation pulling out the Pulse. Try and get that verticality, that Nitro Cell to come up from down below. Obviously the IQ being detrimental to any kind of Valkyrie play, and the Valkyrie never really getting in the position downstairs to utilize that Nitro Cell from a safe space. Aviation and Yaga this time going to try and change up the play, but that means they're going to have even fewer anchors on site. It's just most likely going to be Rudy and RTC, and if Sippin' on OJ decides to stick on site, then they'll have the 3-man hold, but he's most typically best at roaming around the map and doing some damage off site, so this could just be a 2-man hold with a 3-man attempted roam from Sinister.
Sippin' make sure he gets those batteries down ASAP before he continues that roam. You can see him running off into the corner as we speak. He has almost an aversion to being on the bomb sites. He's holding an angle outside this time around. Trying to fire out in the open, doesn't find any connections, but it does deter, it seems, the attackers from going that direction just yet. Cookie's still trying to look around on the IQ, spot anything, perhaps a Valkyrie can be low. We know that he's a Valkyrie, so in fact, but any sort of information to go their way. Perhaps the Pulse, perhaps an Elamine, or even really good as RTC's drones, but chances of that being too far offside are pretty slim.
Cookie's still taking down anything he can with that IQ sensor. Not as much for him to worry about this time around, especially with Billboard on that Thatcher. As I say that, I thought he was going to be pressing in towards this office push once again, but instead he's gone for a bit of a rotate back over towards the break room balcony. Having those Thatchers in play would be massive to disable everything inside of Archives as they go for that push, but if they try to go for this Archives plant again, they're going to be in for a world of hurt. The entire floor is blown open on default plant spot. The hatch is wide open. There's an Echo Drone, an Ella Mine, Bandit charges, possibly throw, including the kitchen sink, inside of Archives on behalf of Sinister to slow down Motiv8.
The grenade got the 2 batteries, and I know IQ knows that the Echo Drone is hanging out inside. The thermite charge is going to go off, but do they know the amount of pressure there is from the floor below? Talon gets first kill onto Aviation. So Sinister already goes down 1. In fact, that's the Pulse out. So that C4 isn't going to be going off this round, it seems. There's still Yaga hanging out below, though, with the floorboards opened above them. Spot if you don't want to mix push through. Nice little Elamine there is also going to help out any engagement that happens here. Cookie's currently joining in, though. Should be spotting out just how open it is. And Yellow is also taking his own rotation around, trying to hold side angles. Maybe coming across Yaga soon. He's just going to run in, though. Not spotted. Spots Yaga in return. Does get the kill onto them. Makes this a 5-on-3.
It is so unfortunate Sippin' on OJ ducked in behind the window of the small office of Customs, just missing the cross from Yellow. Has just a couple shots to finish him off. As I say that, Sippin' on OJ dispatching of Yellow downstairs, but he doesn't have a Nitro Cell, and the hatch is smoked off by his own teammate of Rudy. The Echo Drones dispelling Chap from planting that diffuser inside of Archives, cover from AC, and inside Fountain. The rush coming in as he completes the plant. Talon with the Bearing 9 will actually be the one to clean up RTC. Downed off is the smoke of Rudy, who will inevitably fall. Sippin' on OJ coming up metal, takes Billboard down, but he's got 3 more to find. Chap has been downed inside of Archives, so if he can't get that revive, it's going to be a 1v2, and he's going to finish him off. Securing another frag. You got 1 inside of Fountain, 1 out AC, with 100 HP and time ticking down. Roughly 25 seconds left to start initiating that defuse. Still checking for AC as the fire comes in from his backside. From inside of Fountain, tries to go for the run, can't spot him, laying prone. Playing very safe is Talon. The shots come in at the very end. The time is ticking down. Cookies comes in from Fountain into Archives. Goes for the vault to the edge at the end there as well. But on OJ falls and Motiv8 look absolutely controlling through 3 rounds on Border.
Yeah, Sippin almost looked like he had an opportunity to turn that around in the end, but those last 2 remaining players on the side of Motiv8 got in position, didn't push their luck. They didn't get overconfident being up 2-0. They didn't even give Sippin an opportunity to try and get a 1v2 clutch. And so they're going to hold it out and now Motiv8 up 3-0. I was saying in the very beginning before we even went live that just by my metric, like if Motiv8 wanted to win this, they would have to win 2-0 just because of their history on the map. But then you called me out on it. You reminded me about last week against Disrupt, and
yeah,
it looks like it's following through.
And it's against a completely different play style. It just seems like Motiv8 have all their bases covered, and they look so much stronger here on Border than they did really on Coastline or Consulate especially. But Coastline as well played a very, like I noted off the top of this map, a lot of chaos in the beginning or the end of rounds. And now we're seeing like fully fleshed out, developed rounds from Motiv8, consistently picking up frags every now and again throughout the round, executing a push with a lot of coordination. And there aren't the holes afforded to Sippin on OJ to go for those flanks, or the roam game in general, really, from Sinister to have as much of an effect as they did on Coastline and Consulate. Motiv8 seemingly playing Border to a T, and like you talked about, Border statistically their worst map in CCS so far. They definitely look like they have reworked a lot of their strategies and thought processes on Border because it's working out in spades for them. And if you include last week's Border match against DG Academy, they're currently 9-1 on round count on Border since picking up Chapstick.
Yeah, and so it's looking pretty good. However, this is Sinister. 15, you can never count them out. They always play a little more on the looser ends of things, which, while on one hand, means that sometimes they can't. But on the other hand, it can, in a way, open them up to comebacks in a way that more structured teams sometimes aren't able to figure out. Nonetheless, you can't count Sinister out just yet. It's only a 3-0. Sinister can still come back and do this. As soon as we'll Motiv8 and give them the opportunity to do so. Round number 4, just in 2 minutes. Joining phase still no real push just yet by the attackers. That being said, Cookies is already inside the building, just chilling below desk.
I like that play from Aviation, though. It only takes 1 reinforcement out of your utility to drop on that passport check wall, and then a lot of pre-fires to take down a bunch of drones to come into passport and establish where Aviation is. And I liked his decision to fall back as well. He wasted about a minute of Motiv8's time as they looked like they wanted to go for a quick passport and main lobby entry. As I say that, Yellow is going to take down the Maestro of Rudy Cat. That's going to be devastating to the hold, as the Evil Eyes can still be used to spot and give calls, but that's all they'll be left to do, and that LMG off the board as well is going to be massive.
Sippin finds one in return on a billboard. Cookies, though, gets a second frag for Motiv8. Use the frag grenade. Cookies below the Evil Eye is going to be successful, but Sippin finds a second on the Chap. Right for Chap found Aviation. Still an advantage for Motiv8. Sippin's coming through, and he's got pretty good help, but Talon finds Yaga. It's all into Sippin right now. Swings around the side, but countered by the wide peak of Yellow. So now Motiv8 up 4-2-0. 1 round left in the first half. If Motiv8 can close that one out in the same fashion, they're going to have a perfect half on the attacking side of Oregon.
Hey man, the hole was there that time for Sippin on OJ, though. You saw Motiv8, they were looking like they wanted to initiate that top clear to try and push Sippin out, and then they gave up on it. And then they started focusing on site because they saw that Cookies' that IQ was inside Workshop. So I don't blame them for falling off. But Sippin on OJ able to pick up 2 kills there. He really just needed anyone else on Sinister to step up and win a gunfight, because he had that hole to come in. It was when, I believe it was Yellow, the sledge inside a bathroom. Once his attention wasn't divided between looking across Workshop and on his left for the bathroom flank from Teller's hallway, once he was able to solely focus on that doorway and know that Sipin on OJ was coming from that teller's flank, it was over. But with that split focus, you saw the attackers from Motiv8 really start to waver back and forth on which side they wanted to work on. And that's all it takes for Sipin on OJ. He just needs that little hole to peek through, and he can cripple your attack onto site. The hole was there, man. He needed some help.
That's okay. It happens to everyone.
Absolutely. But event work defense coming out once again from Sinister, swapping up the ops a little bit once again. No Maestro coming out, and that's another really big loss early on in the round. Rudy on that Maestro dropping extremely early, not really having any impact on the round at all. And you saw he wasn't like, no one was even watching the evil eye in the back of Workshop. It was like Sinister gave up on the round as soon as they lost a couple. You know, no one's even watching that to give the calls as it gets knitted out. Sinister, man, they look rough on border right now, which again, like you noted, statistically their best map, which is a little surprising, but this is new Motiv8 we're talking about. They look entirely different.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Sinister, they can still come back, but if they are that checked out, as you suspect that they may have been this round, it's not looking good for them. So we're gonna see if that ends up being the case or not. So Yellow opening up a small little wall, northeastern side of the map. Well, and so it is still gonna be a north to south push. He's once again already inside. You can see just through the wall there are already a couple of defenders ready to beat his IRB. He's gonna fall back and find another entrance wrapped.
So once again, a minute burned by this customs hold, and it's really just a pseudo hold from Aviation. He's all in there sipping on OJ once again, starting things off onto billboards. The Thatcher that'll fall in a double hold and CCTV this time as the Sinister defense extremely spread out, spraying in, and it will drop the head of Chaff. Talon trades out and grabs two in the process. Yaga and sipping on OJ fall down to a 3v3. Aviation's pseudo hold of customs no more as he falls back to site. Similar to the last round, and now the last three remaining Sinister defenders remain on site.
Sippin did what he could, but only able to find two. And it sounds weird to say, oh, he only found two. He found two, but it seems that he's really the only thing working for Sinister. Still tied up 3-3 in this round, but without the flanks, without the full discovery by Sippin on OJ, I question what sort of avenue Sinister are going to be able to find themselves to come back in and around. It's still tied up, and it looks like they do still have pretty good control over the bomb site, so it's not over for them just yet. They still have an advantage considering they're on the defending side, but here comes Yellow up from above, breaking through the hold. He's not going to commit onto any of them, which is going to put pressure. He's going to drop down the parking lot alley, coming onto the site, potentially.
Transition from Motiv8 here, looking to go outside of event window. Yellow searching for a Valkyrie cam, unable to spot it out, and really that should be Cookies looking for it. But he's currently occupied over by detention and customs. Only 25 seconds remaining as he started pushing in, and Aviation's going to take down Talon sitting inside event. Crouching back and forth, unable to land the finishing blow. 15 seconds remaining as Cookies pushes to the far side. Aviation peeking out once again. RTC drops Cookies. It's all up to Yellow now. It looks like Sinister are finally going to get their first round on border. Launches in a frag grenade and not cooking that. It's going to leave him with about 4 seconds. He vaults in, drops Aviation, has Diffuser. There's no time on the board. Rudy is down, so it's all up to RTC, but he has to finish the plant. Coming in from behind, RTC cleans it up, and Sinister able to stop the bleeding, if only for a moment. 4-1 scoreline as we head into the second half.
Yeah, Motiv8, they got a little sloppy at the end there. Ran out of time. A good try there by the Sledge. If time wasn't against him, he could have had a real shot into that, but it doesn't matter. That was just 1 round out of 5. Motiv8 won the other 4 quite convincingly. They just need to win 2 more in order to take this series 2-1. Give Sinister their first L of the season. While Sinister, if they win out 5-0, they can just take this map straight out of Motiv8's hands. But that's going to have to be 5 in a row, and it's uncommon to see that, to say the least.
Yeah, it's very uncommon. It's not entirely out of the realm of possibility, especially with the number of comebacks in rounds that we've seen in this game between these two teams. But I think Motiv8 feeling pretty confident. They just don't want to get too confident here and let it slip away, as it only takes a couple to really start that momentum. Like we saw on Coastline as well. It looks like Motiv8 had it well in hand, and Sinister started to slowly claw back, and it kind of shook Motiv8 there for a second, made him wake up and go, okay, we need to close this thing out right now. So same first half scoreline as Coastline. It's all in Sinister's hands as to whether or not it falls to the same results. Armory Lockers, Archives defense, no surprise as Motiv8 start their first half. The Doc sticking from Cookies. Interesting call.
Yeah, they got some thick boys here with the Doc and the Maestro. Some two heavy lads running around. He's currently in Tellers. Interesting if he decides to commit there. A little one speed, but a little bit of a run out for Talon to place that evil eye.
That was Zofia brought out, but 4 frag grenades going to be at the disposal of the attacking squad to get rid of that evil eye nice and swiftly.
Yeah.
The only thing is coming out that's really surprising here is Motiv8. They're hard holding CCTV. I think it's Bill and Cookies right now over in... It's not Bill. It might be Yellow. Yeah, no. Yes. Yellow and Cookies over inside of CCTV, the Doc and the Bandit. They're trying hard hold, and this is a hold we haven't really seen a lot of in a very long time. An attempted CCTV hold on border. I think it's been multiple seasons since we see it be the norm.
Yeah, it's definitely not the norm, but not the most uncommon thing. But Talon does find the first connection of extending Maestro. I'm not going to call him
I was
Roman
gonna
just
say,
yet,
speaking
but...
of not the norm,
Yeah.
hi Talon, how you doing? Walking down west, starts things off right for Motiv8.
A little bit of trade back and forth there from the site into outside the window. But yeah, Talon he's just sitting out here, holding out a couple angles at once. In fact, he actually runs downstairs to try and meet any sort of potential aggression halfway. So Israel, you have to really push in onto inside this building, much less the site itself. Like a couple of drones running around, finding out the information. A minute 30, they know that the Doc is there. Yield grenades are going to go out. Attempt to blind. They definitely blind the Bandit. Free Fire comes through. Do eventually find the connection, but Billboard gets unblinded just in time. And then Cookies also sneaks out and finds Yager, so that's 2 down. It's all on the RTC. Has to take out a little Legion Needle. 1 versus 4.
RTC alone versus 3. Could be 4 if Bill could get rezzed. He's back inside of, or at least he was back inside of sight the last time I saw him. 60 seconds remaining with the diffuser. The smoke canister going to land in the lap of RTC and repel him from getting into the break room door. He gets docked back up, Bill does. So it's a 4v1 for RTC. Not looking so hot. They can't even get the CCTV entry executed properly. Sinister cannon free fires, almost landing on a Talon as he backs off through the office double doorway. More Legion mines being chucked in from Billboard. They accrued over time. He's still battling from the half wall. CCTV throws out another one. Moves his head forward. He's still in that animation. RTC grabs 1. He's got 2 more pressing from the opposite side of CCTV. Laying down behind circle monitors. Talon coming over from site. Chap holding Archives alone. This could be a 1v1 impossible plant situation, but another toxic bait comes out. Chap gonna clean it up. Motiv8. 1 round away from dropping Sinister for the first time this season in CCS.
We're at that point. Are Motiv8 gonna choke at the finish line? Because it is looking likely 5-1. This would have to be an amazing comeback by Sinister. And they were trading blows a little bit last round, but no, that's actually not a complete misinterpretation of what happened. I was trying to give them a little bit of credit. But Motiv8, they had that down lock, even with a couple of unconventional plays. And if you have stuff down solid with those unconventional plays, that as the opposing side, that's just not a good feeling.
Well, Billboard gonna 6 to a cap can. Interesting, as we saw Talon playing the cap can on Coastline. When they opted to bring him and sipping on OJ was bringing the Ash. I was gonna say, Sinister just chucking the Hail Mary at this point. Throw Sipping on OJ and Ash and see what he can do. But he's going to 6 to the Ying. Capcan, I think it honestly could be pretty devastating, especially with the way that Sinister push to clear the rest of the map. We didn't really get to see it at that time, as that CCTV hold really stalled out Sinister on any kind of attempted entry into the building. And I guess their only real other entry was coming in customs, and then Talon as the roaming Maestro came downstairs. Hello? Yeah. Fascinating, but I think the Capcan could do a lot of damage if positioned correctly. Billboard might have made a pretty intuitive 6-pick here that could catch Sinister pretty off guard.
Yeah, we'll see. Yaga catching his breath still from the previous round. Roaming Maestro, who does that? No. Do free firing through the wall. Make sure the camera's also taken out as well. All standard stuff for the very beginning of a round. Drone's also coming through. Make sure everything is checked.
I'm a little surprised that the addition of Yaga, who just went up against this Motiv8 squad on border a week ago, hasn't been able, seemingly from our angle anyway, hasn't been able to provide any kind of insight into how Motiv8 play or any kind of weaknesses or gaps. To be fair, from the analyst side of this, I haven't seen a lot of gaps from Motiv8 on their pushes, on their attacking rounds. Only witnessed one defense thus far this game. But yeah, I kind of also feel for Yaga having to go against this in back-to-back weeks in CCS after swapping teams. Just an unfortunate situation.
I thought it would be different. The Cookies with the interesting swing around just by the aviation. There's a lot of damage though. That's the post up against a soft wall with, like, what is that, 5 HP or something?
Just about.
Yeah, they're gonna want to try and reset him, but they may not have an opportunity to do so. So he's gonna run out, try and get back onto sites. If he does find one of the Talon as he pushes through with the Ying, but a peek out the side on the LA is gonna find a connection. Rudy's actually gonna find him. On the back up and stepping down range. Finds another on the yellow, makes it a 2 versus 4. And so it's all the smoke and the Capcan left, which is the 4 attacking members who are streaming immediately onto the site, and they're not even there. They're both downstairs.
Boys, where you going? Chap and Billboard absolutely hauling to East Stairs, evacuating site, and gonna go for the double retake on top of one another. What am I witnessing? You have 4 attackers all stacked upstairs above the objective. Sipping on OJ, really the saving grace here for Sinister, as the drone is gonna miss. Takes the corner. Chap with the 1-tap with the Claymore! Chap falls. It's all up to Billboard now. The 1v3, 1v2 is Yaga, and Billboard very wary for a secondary Claymore. They both run into ventilation. There's 30 seconds. They're gonna try and get this plant down.
Drops down, tries to take the fight, but RTC is gonna come out on top of that one. It was close. That was a very interesting push into CCs, and I realized how out of sync both our feeds are, but nonetheless.
Yeah, it happens over time.
It happens.
But we're pretty close to it being over, so bear with us.
Maybe not. Sinister did just grab another round,
Okay.
so could be the. I'm just saying you can't count anyone out just yet.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep the tension up. You know.
I got a feel for Sipping on OJ at this point, man. He's like you said earlier, it looked like he is kind of the only one who's rocking right now for Sinister, and it's looking at the scoreboard, hard not to agree with that.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens this time around. 2 teams pulling out the 6th pick. Is that a frost? That is a frost. It's gonna be a committed onto that frost.
You saw the frost on border in Pro League.
Yeah.
EG versus SK question mark? I think.
Yeah, Frost.
I may be wrong.
I think Frost is kind of, for a little bit, at least from what I understood, Frost was kind of considered to be a mean pick at times. She slowly started to dial back away from it, but she is still definitely a niche pick. Either way. But maybe a surprising pick like that, especially on the 6th pick, may be just what Motiv8 could use on this round. Because Sinister, they just got that last round. It wasn't the most confident win, but it wasn't, you know, a complete like turnaround 1vx single player comeback on their end either. And so they don't want to let their own confidence kind of like snowball into something greater. So throwing kind of a curveball at them right now, it's a good time to do so, is what I mean.
Well, like you said, it's a niche pick, and it's clearly utilized for this one specific situation where they want to try and hard hold inside of CCTV. Again, the easiest way to dispatch that is to launch the Candelas into the Ying and vault through the window as they're completely blind and grab your 3 kills. Focus on the blind people laying down across the room. You're not really focused about what's underneath your window as a Ying, so you get caught off guard by that, down in the trap, and it saves your life. Very, very situational thing to have happen, but it has seen some effect in previous iterations.
And it was difficult for them to take CC on the first round of this half either, and that was before the Frost. So it's only going to make that, as you say, even stronger. They don't have any of their eyes on CC, however, Sinister, but they're opening up a wall in the office. The sun was working for them, their minds opening it up for them. You're still hanging out outside. We saw the Ying also go around, but Yaga peeks it through, finds some cookies, but tries to trade. Goes to the soft wall. Nade comes through, but also again, a little window break, a little foot break. Billboard up close and personal. This is a very uncomfortable fight for all parties, but Chap, Billboard, and Chap once again, all coming through with kills of their own, making this a 4 versus 2. Rudy gets gassed out, has to fall back, run out from the bandit, doesn't find anything, but Rudy wants to get before Aviation does find yellow. That's gonna be the run out operator taken out for his disregard, for his disrespect. Talon is also coming out from below.
So they got the Blackbeard separated from his last remaining teammate of Aviation, taking down the drone. Chap's gonna drop Rudy, so it's all Aviation. It wasn't the main hallway. He's gone to trip wall to try and grab the diffuser. The Maestro goes prone. Chap's gonna clean it up with, I believe, a 4K on the round. And that's gonna be Motiv8, dropping Sinister, handing them their first loss of the season. And Motiv8 look completely revitalized, toppling both giants in Disrupt Academy and Sinister Academy.
Yeah, and this is absolutely the time that they need to do so. They're now 4 and 5, which doesn't look that great on the scoreboard, but if they can continue this, if they can win the rest of their matches, they can easily solidify themselves in the top 4, which is exactly what they need, what really their goal at this